A warm welcome to all of you, and I thank you for taking this time to attend this workshop on password reset feature. This is the first of a series of workshops which is going to be conducted on AD Plus. My name is Tom Jose, and I work in the marketing section of Managed Engine team. And today's workshop will be conducted by me. I hope my voice is audible and the display is well and clear. If not, please let us know in the chat provided. So today's agenda, as put up in the slide, is mainly going to cover password reset feature, the different ways provided to reset the password, and the steps needed to be taken while doing so. Let's get started. So what exactly is AD Self-Service Plus and what does it do? AD Self-Service Plus is a secure, web-based, end-user password reset management program. This software helps domain users to perform self-service password reset, self-service account unlock, and employee self-update of personal details like telephone numbers, etc. in the Windows Active Directory. Administrators find it easy to automate password resets, account unlocks while managing, hence optimizing the expenses associated with help desk calls. As you can see, this workshop will show you the following. How to, without enrollment, do password reset by fetching the default mail and mobile attributes from Active Directory. How to use secondary mobile number or email ID from Active Directory to do the same. How to allow the users to use their personal mobile number or email addresses for authentication. How to strengthen the password reset process by the multi-factor authentication method, which consists of security question answers, verification code, and Google Authenticator. How to send alerts to admin about the end user password self-service actions by configuring email notification. And lastly, how to track the authentication mode and other services used by the users using built-in reports. So let me start by logging into the AD Self-Service Plus. So we are onto the page. So I'll log in as the administrator into the AD Self-Service Plus. And once logged in, we need to configure the domain name. So let me just type that, SSP child. And now I need to discover a domain controller for this domain. So I shall click on that and go to click here to discover DCs. And from the two domain controllers shown, I'm going to choose AD SSP DC2 and add. And now I'll go to the authentication and type in the domain username, that is administrator, and the password. Let me just type that and add. And as you can see, the domain name SSP child has been successfully added with the domain controller AD SSP DC2. So now let me just sign out and pretend to be a user who has forgotten his password and wants to reset it. So I shall go to the forgot your password link and type in the username, that is Tom Jose, and continue. Okay, so as you can see, an error just popped up saying that we need to enroll the user. But don't worry, AD Self-Service Plus has another authentication method known as the verification code, which can be useful in such scenarios. And therefore, as part of the first exercise, I shall show you how to reset password without enrolling into the AD Self-Service Plus. This works if the user has Active Directory attributes already set, such as mail or mobile. These attributes will be fetched from the AD and a mail or SMS will be sent to the user through which he or she can reset the password. So for that, we need to log in as the admin. And in configuration tab, under policy configuration, we have the multi-factor authentication. And as you can see, we have the three tabs, that is security question answers, verification code, and Google Authenticator. By default, the security question answers will always be enabled, and we need to enable the verification code. So let me just head there and enable it for both email ID and the mobile number. So you can configure the subject and the message in both the cases and use the said shown macros to do the same and click save. Now once that's done, we need to next configure a mode of communication for AD Self-Service Plus to send a mail or SMS to the user. So for that, we need to head to the admin tab, and under product settings, we have the server settings. Here under mail settings, here we have the settings for mail and SMS settings. So I'm going to configure only mail for this workshop. So I'll just type the details. The mail server is SMTP. From address is tomjuice.m@zohocorp.com, and the admin mail address is also the same. And in my case, I would need to go to the advanced settings and do the SMTP authentication. So let me just do that and click save. So now I have successfully configured the mail settings. So I just need to sign out and try once again whether I can reset the password for the user Tom Joes without being enrolled. So I'll go to forgot your password link, type in the user Tom Joes and continue. Now as you can see, because I had enabled the verification code authentication, the AD Seltzers Plus has fetched the mail that is tomjoes92@gmail.com from the mail attribute of the user tomjoes, and all I need to do is select that, type the captcha that is 20DB08 and continue. And now a verification code has been sent to my Gmail address. So let me just go there. And yes, I have got it. And as I had mentioned earlier, this is the subject which has been configured and the message under that. And this is the verification code. So let me just copy that and head on to the AD Seltzers Plus and paste it here and type in the captcha that is 35CP97 and continue. And here we are finally onto the reset password page. So now before we actually reset the password, let me tell you a few points, and that is on the top right we have the time left for this operation. By default it's 5 minutes. If you do exceed it, the session will expire and we need to start all over again. And within the settings, admin settings, we can choose to reduce it or extend the time according to your convenience. And on the left side we have the domain password policy requirements. We need to choose a new password which follows these basic requirements, and then only the password reset will be successful. So I'll just type in a new password and let me just confirm that and type in the captcha that is HNIRCF and reset. And my password has been successfully reset. So this is how you can reset the password for a user who hasn't yet enrolled into the AD Seltzers Plus by just using primary attribute, and the mode of authentication is the verification code. Now what if you want to use a secondary attribute for sending the mail or the SMS? So for that we need to first go to the admin side, and in the admin tab under product settings we have server settings, and on the right side we have the mail or mobile attributes. So right now what it shows is basically to which attribute does the mail be sent. So for mail it is just the mail attribute, and for mobile it's the mobile and other mobile attribute. So now I want to configure one more attribute for mail, and that will be the user principal name. Let me just type that, and that will be the secondary attribute. If it does exist in my user, it will be fetched. So saying that, I'll just sign out and go to forgot your password again, type in the username that is Tom Joes and continue. And now as you can see, my primary ID is tomjoes92@gmail.com, and the secondary ID, which is basically my user principal name, was fetched from the Active Directory, and that is tomjoes.m@zohocorp.com. And I'll just type in the captcha that is KB3ND9 and continue. And now I have to go to the ZohoCorp mail to check if I've got the verification code. Let me just wait for that. And I've got that, and I'll just copy the verification code and paste it here and type in the next captcha that is GITJ9E and continue. And with which we are back onto the reset password page, and I just need to type a new password, but keeping in heed the domain password policy requirements. So let me just do that. and let me just confirm it and type the captcha, that is J4CQ6T, and reset. And with that, my password has been successfully reset, and this time I just showed you how to send the verification code to your secondary attribute. Now what if, primary and secondary aside, we want to send your mail or the SMS to a personalized email ID or a personal mobile number of the user? So for that, the user has to actually log in as domain user. Let me just do that and type in the password I just reset. And once he's logged in, he needs to head on to the Enrollment tab that is here. And since we had already enabled, since by default security questions is enabled, we have the choice to enroll for that. But I'm going to focus only on the verification code right now. So let me just head there. And you can see that already the primary and secondary has been shown here. And now I can type in a personal email ID that is going to be tomjoes92@hotmail.com. And I can type in a personal email address, mobile number, that'll be 8124326890, and I'll click update. And with that, I've successfully updated the personal numbers for which verification code can be sent. Now let me explore the other tabs for you. So I'll just go to my info, and here's where any details you do update will be automatically reflected to the AD Salesforce Plus. These include the general information such as description, office, telephone number, and contact information such as mobile, IP phone, fax, and address. And next we have the change password, where the user has to type in his old password, keep in mind the password policy requirements, and then type in a new password. Now let's get back to this later, and I'll just sign out and show you how we can send the verification code to your personal email ID. So I'll just click on forgot your password and type in the username, that is Tom Joes, and continue. And now you can see that I'm given two options, and that one is the email address along with my personal email ID, that is tomjoes92@hotmail.com, and then I have my mobile number which I had configured, which is basically my personal number. So I'm just going to send it to my personal email ID, and I'll just type in the captcha, that is SEH2MB, and continue. And now I believe the verification code has been sent to my Hotmail account. So I shall just head over to that. And yes, I have got it. I'll just copy the captcha, the code, and paste it here. And let me just type the captcha, that is J8SCIR, and continue. And I'm back to the reset password page. So let me just quickly type a new password and confirm it. And let me type in the captcha, that is B6NRHP, and reset. So with this, I've shown you how to reset your password using the verification code, and you can send the mail or the SMS to your to the primary attribute, secondary attribute, and then your personal email ID or mobile number. Now I shall show you next how to enroll into the AD Salesforce Plus and authenticate yourself using the security question answers, and then reset your password. So for that, I have another user who hasn't enrolled yet, and his name is Eddie. And let me just type his password. And now I'll just go to the enrollment. And this time I'll focus on the security questions. So I'll just choose two security questions, and the first one will be, what is your mother's maiden name? Let me just type that. And the second one is the country you always dreamt of vacationing in. Let me just type that answer as well. And please note that if you do untick this option, then you just need to type the answer once. And I'll click update and sign out. And now I shall try resetting the password for the user Eddie. So I'll type in his username, that is Eddie, and continue. And now I'm shown two options because I had enabled security question answers and verification code. So he can choose either of the two. And note that this email ID which is shown here is basically his secondary attribute or the user principal attribute which I had configured earlier. So now I'm just focusing on the security question answers to verify my identity. So I'm choosing this itself and type in the captcha, that is K27DGG, and continue. And now I just need to type in the security question answers I had just configured earlier, and that is mother for the first, and second one is Spain, and type in the captcha, that is 2C3EP4, and continue. And like that, Eddie has successfully authenticated himself, and he just has to go ahead and reset the password. Let me just confirm that and type the captcha, that is MJBI6N, and reset. So with that, I've shown you how to reset the password without enrollment, using the verification code, and with enrollment, that is using the security question answers. So let's explore more about the multi-factor authentication. So I'll just log in as the admin and head on to the configuration. And under policy configuration, we have the multi-factor authentication. So here is where we had enabled the security question answers and verification code. So let's explore the third one, and that is Google Authenticator. So on enabling the Google Authenticator, it adds an extra layer of security to the password reset or unlock account process. Basically, what it does is it shows a code onto the Google Authenticator app within your phones, and using that code, you can authenticate yourself for the password reset or unlock account process. So I'll just save that, and now I'll just click on the advanced settings and show you settings of each tab. So in enrollment tab, we can choose the first option. We can give the user a choice or force the user to enroll when he logs into the AD Self-Service Plus portal. And here is where you can enforce and reorder the multi-factor authentication options. So right now, all these options are a choice. That means the user can either choose security question answers or verification code or Google Authenticator to authenticate himself for the reset password process. But if I do tick all of these and rearrange them with Google Authenticator first, verification code second, and security question answers third, that means the user has to verify himself in all these processes and then only be able to reset the password. And the next one is the question answer settings. So here the user will be shown with the admin's configuration. The questions will be shown one by one or all at once, and you can also mention how many questions to be shown. And within the answer settings, we can prevent a user from providing certain answers such as their username or providing the same answer to multiple questions and so on. And then in the verification code, in this setting also we can choose which other attribute you can configure for the mail and mobile, and you can also enable secondary email and mobile, and you can also tick the option to force the users to specify alternate email ID or alternate mobile number. So that being done, I'll just click on OK and sign out. And now I had just configured all the authentications, that is security question answers, Google Authenticator, and verification code. But I'm going to show the reset password process for the user Tom Joes, but he hasn't done two of the authentication. So let me just log in as a user Tom Joes and type in his password. And because I haven't enrolled in two of the three authentication methods configured, I'm shown this pop-up. So I have to click here and I'm redirected to the enrollment page. So let me just configure the security question answers. And the first question I'm going to configure is, what is your mother's maiden name? Let me just type that. And the second one is the country you always dreamt of vacationing in. Let me just type that as well. And then let me go on to the Google Authenticator. And here is where I open my app and scan this barcode which is shown here. I'm sorry you cannot see it, but I assure you I have just done it. And I've got the code. Let me just type that, 564 061 and enroll. And with that, I have successfully enrolled the user Tom Joes for all the three authentication methods. So all I have to do is just sign out, and next time if he forgets his password, he can just go to forgot your password link, type in the username, that is Tom Joes, and continue. And like I had mentioned earlier, the authentication methods are shown one by one, which starting with Google Authenticator. So let me just type that code looking at my mobile, that is 915788, and the captcha, that is FS6GG5, and continue. And next will be the verification code. So I'm going to choose my verification code to be sent to my Gmail account, and let me just type in the captcha for this as well, that is 3NNO6B, and continue. So I'll just head on to the Gmail account and see if I've got it, and yes, I have. Let me just copy the verification code and paste it here and type in the next captcha, that is NBEJPS, and continue. And the last authentication method is a security question answers, and let me just type that answer as well, that is what is your mother's maiden name is Spain, and the country you always dreamt of vacation, what is your mother's maiden name is mother, and the country you always dreamt of vacationing is Spain, and the captcha, that is F6ODT4, and continue. And with these three authentication methods, I've just successfully authenticated my user Tom Joes, and he's onto the reset password page. So let me just quickly type in a new password. Let me just confirm that and type in the captcha, that is 7QIKRM, and reset. And that's how my password has been successfully reset. And right now I've just shown you all the exercise. I've shown you the exercise, that is resetting the password without enrollment, and using a secondary mobile number or email ID for enrollment, and using a personal mobile number or email address for enrollment. And the fourth one was I just showed you right now is strengthening the password reset process through the multi-factor authentication methods. I had just clubbed up all the methods, that is Google Authenticator, verification code, and security question answers. So this can be really helpful for certain departments within your organization, such as the finance or the sysadmins. Now next, I shall show you how we can send email notifications to the admin side regarding the end user's self-service actions. So for that, I have to log in as the admin and proceed to the configuration page. And within the policy configuration, I just have to click on advanced. And we have a lot of settings here. So I'll just focus on the notification right now. And here is where you can notify via email for the end users regarding his password reset process, and also for change password I can notify via email. And similarly for the admin side, I'll just go, and here in the notify admin option on the bottom left, you can tick this option which mails the admin any of the user's action, and accordingly you can configure the subject, the message, etc. Let me just click OK on that. And the next setting I'm going to show you is a reset and unlock process. So here is where you can extend the password reset or unlock account idle time, which by default I had told you earlier is 5 minutes. You can increase it or decrease it here. And here is where you mention how many times a user can reset the password and in how many number of days, and other such options such as preventing the user from copy pasting in the password fields, etc. So I'll just click OK and sign out, and this time I shall show you a change password action by the user Tom Joes. So let me just type in the password and log in, and within the change password tab I type in the old password, that is AD SSP at 123, and the new password, let me just type that. Let me just confirm that again and click change password. And my password has been successfully changed. So I'll just go to my admin email ID, that is tomjoes.im@zohocorp, And as you can see, the admin has received a mail saying that the user Tom Joes from the domain SSP child has performed the action change password, and also the time has been mentioned. So this is how we can send notification to the admin regarding any of the user's self-service actions. And next one I'm going to show you, which is basically the last exercise, is how to track the authentication mode and other services used by the users by the built-in reports which we have in the AD Self-Service Plus. So for that you need to log in as the admin, and we have the reports tab over here, and we have three types of reports, that is user reports, audit reports, and the enrollment reports. So within the users report we have three types, that is locked out users report, which shows all the users who currently are locked out of the system. And then we have the soon to expire password users report and the password expired users report. Now I'm going to focus on the audit reports, and that is basically showing the reset password audit report. And here you can see which all users have reset their password and whether it was a success, and from where did they attempt it from, and how many times, and the type of reset it was. And similarly for the other user Eddie. Then we have the change password. So here also the same thing, it shows the status, number of attempts, attempted from, and the time at which it was done. Then within the enrollment reports, we have the enrolled users report, which shows the users who had enrolled into the AD Self-Service Plus, that is basically Eddie and Tom Joes. And then we have the security question answers report, which shows which all questions the users have been enrolled, and of course the password is asterisked. And we have other reports as well. So we have come to the end of today's workshop, as I've covered all the set exercises. And in the next session, which is being next week, I will be covering the password sync feature, which is basically in the configuration tab, password sync, and I will be showing you how you can sync any of your password changes or resets to the accounts of these apps as shown here. So I thank each and every one for being such a wonderful audience and being patient with us. Any questions regarding the session can be put in the chat box, to which we will reply immediately, or else if there is enough time, we will take it personally offline with you. Also, please take a minute or two to fill up the feedback form which is mailed to you after the session to let us know your thoughts on today's workshop and any room for improvement. The video of this workshop will be available online and also shared with you personally for your future reference. Please remember, the registration for this AD Self-Service Plus workshop is for the entire series, and a reminder will be sent to you a day before the workshop every week. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all next week. Thank you once again, and a good day to all.